Are you serious about playing basketball in college? Or are you serious about trying to play basketball in college? If so, I want to talk to you about what I think it takes in order to give yourself the best opportunity to do that. First off, in today's age, college recruiting has changed completely. We got the transfer portal, things like that going on where, players can transfer schools and honestly, college coaches are like wanting to go to the transfer portal and get players that are older, stronger, and faster. And what that means for you as a high school player is that you need to do a little bit more to get your name out there to see if you can, hopefully get a scholarship with a good team straight out of high school. In order to kind of help solve this problem, I've created two solutions. One is the TBScouts exposure service, where I help players get their name out there and build their presence online and on social media on platforms like X, formerly Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and just on the World Wide Web. These are so critical. We are past the days of VHS tapes and old school methodologies. We can use technology. We can use social media. We can use high definition video, 4K video, YouTube, stuff like that to help with college recruiting these days. And that's what I do with Texas Basketball Scouts. My whole mission is to help players get the exposure that they need to get noticed so that they can hopefully get recruited and get a scholarship. Okay, so the two solutions that I have, one is the TBScouts exposure service, where I can bring you on as a client and start promoting you, because nowadays players need somebody to promote them. We're past the days of just, professional athletes needing people to kind of help build their brands. Now, if you're in high school, you need a hype man, okay? And I want to be that hype man for you. The second solution that I'm offering is the TBScouts video package. And what that is that's a monthly subscription where I can come out and film your games and guarantee that you'll get at least one highlight video a month. Okay, you can order more than that if you want, and if you become a client and you become a member, you'll get a discounted rate on the video services rather than just ordering it a la carte. But the reason why I have the video service is because, think about it, throughout your high school basketball season, you play almost twice a week, during that time. Look back over your career and ask yourself honestly, how many professional scouting type of videos do you have that you can send to a college coach that they would actually look at and watch? In my opinion, these days, quality matters, okay? I know that there's systems out there like Huddle, recording games, Baller TV, and they're good, but honestly, if you look at the video that I produce with Texas Basketball Scouts, I'm zoomed in close, it's high definition, very clear, you can see the plays. That type of video footage is very different than what you see on Huddle and what you see on Baller TV. By all means, and I think that there's a difference. Video quality matters, okay? Especially when you're trying to promote yourself to a college coach, okay? You need to put your best foot forward. So kind of going back to the video thing, in my opinion, I think every high school basketball player, if you're trying to play basketball in college, you should record every single one of your games, and you should make highlights from every single one of your games, and you should put those online on social media. Post them on X, post them on YouTube, post them on Instagram, post them on Facebook, because you gotta get your name out there. You gotta let these coaches know what you're doing. Another thing too is, in today's recruiting landscape, the landscape has changed. It's not so much about who you know or who knows who anymore. It's all about who knows you, exposure. Back in the day, it used to be the buddy-buddy system where you can just go and talk to a coach and say, hey, this kid's good, give him a shot. But now, and coaches used to have to rely on people like that, and they used to have to rely on scouting services. The scouting services that go out and do evaluations about players. College coaches used to have to, some of them still do, but they used to pay those scouting companies for those information about those players. Nowadays, with social media, college coaches can just go on X or go on Instagram or go on Facebook and see highlight videos of good players. And here's the whole secret about basketball and college recruiting. There is no secret. If you can play basketball and if you're a good basketball player, offense and defense, and if you have the physical characteristics and attributes, and if you're good enough, a college coach will find you. All you got to do is put videos out there and let them know you're available, and let your high school coach know, and they can come to your workout, your practice period, or come when you guys are, working out after school. That's all it takes. But first and foremost, you have to be a good basketball player, and you have to have the physical attributes. And this is kind of the harsh reality about the physical attributes, because, just to kind of put it bluntly, if you're 5'6" or 5'7" like I am, it's going to be hard for you to get a scholarship, a full ride as a basketball player, because most basketball, in college, you got to be like 6'1", 6'2", 6'3", ideally like around 6'4" is where you want to be. If you're not 6'4", then, you might got a little bit of work to do. Not saying it's impossible, because, going back to like old school players like Muggsy Bogues, he made it to the NBA and he was only like 5'3" or 5'4" or something like that. So anything is possible, but you gotta be realistic, okay, about where you can end up playing basketball. And honestly, sometimes people aren't realistic, and it doesn't really help a player when an AAU coach or a high school coach or parents or trainers, if you're not honest with these players, you're hurting them, okay? So again, this is why I have my services, the TBScouts exposure service. Once you become a client, I'm gonna be in your corner to help be an advocate for you and give you that advice, and I'll give you a neutral opinion, because in this world of basketball, you got a lot of forces coming at you. You got AAU coaches that are trying to build up their teams. And it's not all bad. Sometimes they help you with exposure, but also there's a good and a bad side to everything. So you got AAU coaches that are trying to like come at you. You got recruiting services. If you don't know what a recruiting service is companies like College Promoters, which turned into NSR, or they got bought out by NSR. You have College Athlete Advantage. You have NCSA. These are all recruiting services that charge parents anywhere from $1,500 to $3,500 for a recruiting service. And what they're going to do is take your son or daughter's information and put it into their database and email blast it out to a bunch of college coaches. That's what typical recruiting services do. They put you in a database and they send out email blasts, and they send out thousands of emails every day to college coaches. And what do you think those college coaches do that get those same generic email blasts from all these recruiting services? They probably just glance over them, because they know you're just a number to them. Not with me. When you become a client, I take you on, let's build your brand, and let's get you out there, okay? Secondly, these recruiting services don't come out to the actual games and film and take pictures and make graphics and make highlight videos like what I do. Now I'm starting to see some of these services now offer like editing services, but you're not going to see somebody actually like with a camera there on the baseline like I do, because I know the importance of being able to get good footage of these players so they can give a coach an accurate, picture of what these players look like in real life. So going back to the whole basketball thing, you got AAU coaches, you got recruiting services, you got trainers, you got event directors, you got camp directors, you got everybody that's gonna tell you that they want to do what's best for you, but really it's a money thing, okay? I can't tell you how many times I've seen players and parents that have spent years of their time and thousands of dollars traveling to out-of-state tournaments, playing for certain teams, even shoe teams and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, they have no scholarships and they have nothing. And they have all these people talking to them, but they're not giving them the right advice. So guys, it's time to get smart. I'm very confident that I can help you and educate you and really just give you an honest opinion. Okay, so when you become a client of mine, you come on board with Texas Basketball Scouts, I'm going to be honest with you. If you want to know my opinion on certain AAU programs or teams, certain events to play in, live period events, what you need to do, emails to send to coaches. I'll even give you some email templates, that you can use to email these coaches and reach out to them. I have a wealth of knowledge, man. I've been doing this for a while. I know I have the contact information and know how to get the contact information for any college coach in the country. I'm followed by almost 20,000 followers across all my social media platforms. I have almost 10,000 followers at this point in time. I have almost 10,000 followers on Instagram, almost 4,000 followers on Twitter or X, almost 3,000 on YouTube, almost 4,000 on Facebook. So I got a lot of reach, and I just checked my stats over the past 30 days. I've reached over 90,000 accounts on my own. So when you talk about exposure, this is what basketball players need. I go back. Number one, you got to be good at basketball. You got to be able to play. You got to be a player that a college coach would actually want to have on their team. You got to have the physical attributes. You got to look the part. You got to be the right height. You got to be the right weight. You can't be too skinny. You can't be too big. You got to be just right. So these are all things that, I can help coach you with once you become a client, to just help you put your best foot forward. Because at the end of the day, it's all about getting scholarships, but also you have to realize that you only have one chance to do this. You're only going to be in high school one time. And unfortunately, if you make the wrong decisions with sports and basketball, if you run with the wrong team or play in the wrong events or miss out on something, you could literally change the trajectory of your life. I mean, this is serious. There's players that I've seen over the years have taken bad advice year after year. They start off, they number one, they don't get the right offer out of college. They go to a different college. Then they don't last at that college, and they keep moving and bouncing around. And I don't want that to be you. So please, if you are a parent and you have kids that play basketball, high school, varsity boys basketball, and you are interested in them getting a scholarship to get their school paid for and play basketball in college, please call me. The first step is give me a phone call and let's talk about your situation and let me explain how I can help you. Whether you become a client or not is up to you. I hope you do become a client because I honestly think I can help you. But it doesn't cost anything to give me a call. Let's schedule a time to meet, have a meeting, and let's talk about where you guys are at. Because basketball is real life. Scholarships are real life. And if you can get your school paid for, that's real money that you can save. Plus, if you love basketball, you get to continue playing past high school. Your basketball career does not have to end. So with all that being said, I'm very passionate about helping players and parents in this basketball world. So the next step to get more information and to talk with me is to just pick up the phone and give me a call. You can call me directly at area code 210-875-1359, or you can send me an email to boris@tbscouts.com. You can also just go to the website, tbscouts.com, and click on the Contact Us button, and it'll show you the contact form that you can fill out. And if you ever just want to kind of do some research on Texas Basketball Scouts, all you got to do is pull up Google and just Google Texas Basketball Scouts or TB Scouts, and you'll see all the content that's been created and all the players that I've been able to work with and help. So come on, guys, let's do this. We're in a new day and age with technology. We need to take full advantage of it. And, I want to help as many people as I can. So next step is up to you. Give me a call. I look forward to working with you and talking to you soon. Thank you very, very much. And I wish you the best of luck in the future.